Well, now to a major story unfolding in our nation's capital that could leave 20,000 Arizonans paying more or going without family planning care altogether. At the center of it all is Planned Parenthood.
It's our big story at 6. Today, the Department of Health and Human Services announcing it would no longer allow certain programs getting federal funds to refer patients to abortion clinics. Team 12's Michael Doudna joins us now with what the impact is here in Arizona. Michael?
Guys, currently more than half of all people in the state getting federal assistance or family planning through a program known as Title X get it through Planned Parenthood. But with these rule changes, those below the poverty line may have to go elsewhere to pay more or not get this kind of care at all.
Any pregnant person that walks in should be able to get all options.
The new rules say groups like Planned Parenthood can no longer refer patients to get an abortion and still get federal funds under what's called Title X.
Title X is the nation's largest family planning program. It offers low-income people access to preventative health services.
And the largest provider of Title X services, Planned Parenthood, who says the new rules single them out.
And now they are using these sort of administrative rules to be able to get what they want done.
Here in Arizona, Planned Parenthood provides more than half of all Title X care. That's more than 19,000 patients who either need to pay more, go somewhere else, or go without the services.
So people are going to lose out. People are not going to make appointments. They're not going to get their annual wellness exams. They're going to lose access to birth control. And we know what that looks like. It becomes a public health care crisis.
But not everyone sees the public health crisis. Far from it. In fact, the Center for Arizona Policy calling the new rules, quote, an important step in disentangling taxpayers from the abortion industry. Continuing, quote, abortion is not health care, and taxpayers should no longer be forced to subsidize the abortion industry. Currently, Title X makes up around 20% of Planned Parenthood Arizona's revenue. While the program has some reserves to help offset the cost to patients, it won't last.
The Valley, people have been coming to us for years, generations of families using Title X, and now they're being told that, you know, they can still come to Planned Parenthood, but they won't get the same financial assistance.
Planned Parenthood of Arizona officially has not left the Title X program, but plan to do so unless changes are made to those recent rule changes. Guys, back over to you.
All right, Michael, thank you.